Welcome back to the Tikit demo series. Today's session, we're going to focus in on Tikit's integration with OpenAI. Now, Tikit has the ability to surface knowledge articles to end users or agents. And those knowledge articles to date have been knowledge articles that you created inside of Tikit. Now, what we have done over the evolution of evaluating our AI integrations is that we've realized that OpenAI allows for a lot of interesting integration stories. One of them specifically is the ability to model out repositories, whether it's a repository external to Tikit, whether it is a set of documents, whether it is a website. And what's very popular now is to be able to ask a question to OpenAI and receive an answer from these model repositories. Now, how that applies to ITSM is very interesting. We know that across different departments in your organization, you probably have standard operating procedures, SOPs, where individuals are uploading and updating documents. They could be HR employee manuals, they could be password reset processes, they could be software request processes, they could be move add change processes, things of that nature. And one of the potential burdens is duplicating the information from that repository where these individuals are updating this documentation into Tikit. So what we've done here is we've given the ability to leverage Microsoft integration of OpenAI to be able to not only search knowledge inside of Tikit Virtual Agent to bring back answers from the knowledge base, but also be able to bring back answers from a customer's Azure OpenAI resource that they have spun up. So what we'll do here is we'll demo all of that end to end, and then we'll talk about how that was actually set up. Now on the left-hand side here, I have Adele. She's my end user, and she's going to be asking for knowledge from the business. And the right-hand side here is Diego. He's my agent, and he's going to be receiving requests from the business, but also showing how to administer the knowledge base around the OpenAI integration. We'll move away from Diego's perspective just for a moment here. And what we're sitting in front of is one of the end user experiences that an end user can ask questions to bring back different types of knowledge, whether it's Tikit knowledge or OpenAI knowledge. And what you're seeing here is what you've seen in past demo series videos where Adele has asked questions such as, I need the Wi-Fi password, or when do I get paid, or things like that. And what's happening here is we're using AI cognitive services to interpret what the end user is asking, and then bringing back an appropriate response, whether that's a knowledge article in the service catalog conversation, sometimes bringing back a form. But the idea here is that Tikit has this knowledge repository where you can use AI cognitive services to bring back that knowledge. Now, this is knowledge that you're creating inside of Tikit. Now, what's interesting is you can also point to employee handbooks. So if an employee were to come in here and say, I need the latest version of the employee handbook, you'll get a typical response from most knowledge-based experiences where we'll provide a reference to the actual employee handbook. But if we ask questions that are a little more specific, such as, what is the holiday schedule? What you're going to see here is that Tikit Virtual Agent is going to search our local knowledge in Tikit. It's going to find that there isn't the best answer there, so it's going to go out to my Azure OpenAI resources, and it's going to say, I have a handbook for this company, and the answer to that question is in that handbook. So I'm going to present that answer here to the end user. I'm also going to provide a citation reference to that particular handbook, which the end user can then download as well. As another example, what are the health and dental benefits? This will just bring back a different answer from that employee handbook. Now, a couple of things I want to point out here. One, the benefit of this is massive. This churns knowledge into an interesting difference in a traditional experience. Now, HR, in this particular example, can update their employee handbook, upload it to a repository, and my Azure OpenAI instance and my tenant can be modeling that data as it's being updated. And then automatically, as I'm asking questions, if there's any updates, I'm going to get a respective updated answer as I'm having a conversation with Tikit Virtual Agent and asking questions to bring back answers to those questions. The other key thing I want to highlight here is that we keep you inside of the end user self-service experience. So all of this is happening in Tikit Virtual Agent. So we're keeping the end users in that funnel. We're also providing the outs that an end user would be used to when receiving a knowledge response. So what I mean by that is we're going to ask, was this answer helpful, yes or no? If this wasn't a helpful answer, we'll let the end user continue travel to create the ticket. If they say yes, we will tell them, awesome, glad that helped. We'll imply to them that a ticket wasn't created, but it actually was. It was deflected. And when you go evaluate tickets that were created but deflected, you can see in trend on the knowledge articles that are properly deflecting the creation of tickets across your business. Now, this is how an end user and potentially an agent would ask questions and bring back these natural responses from an OpenAI integration. I want to highlight just a little bit of how this is set up. So if I move over to Diego's perspective, what you'll see here in the Tikit Agent portal is that I have a knowledge area. And this knowledge area is a repository of all my knowledge base articles inside of Tikit. So you'll see here that if I look for the word employee, my handbook answer to my question is sitting there waiting, and I'm responding with that. Now, you're not seeing the OpenAI integration here. That's actually set up on the admin side of the product. So the idea here is that you're going to create knowledge local to Tikit, and if we have an answer local to Tikit, we'll provide that answer. But if it's something that we don't have, we're going to go out to Azure OpenAI, and we're going to go bring back an answer from a resource if it has an answer in that repository. To set that up, you're going to go into the settings area, and you're going to go over to Azure AI. And what you're going to see here is my setup of where my ticket instance is pointing to my Azure tenant and the model repository that I have for my tenant. Now, we have a whole knowledge base article that highlights how to set up Azure OpenAI and how to set up repositories, and in the link area of this YouTube video and this video here, I'll reference that, and you can use that as a reference here on how to set it up. But it's also available in our help repository as well. But just to kind of highlight real quickly what we're seeing here, I have in my tenant spun up an OpenAI resource. In that OpenAI resource, I have a search index. And that search index is pointing to a set of documents. So when I ask a question of my knowledge, and I don't have an answer in my ticket knowledge base, I'm going to go out to my OpenAI resource, and I'm going to, if there is an answer, find an answer and provide that back in the experience you saw earlier. I also have the option to citate the files as they're being referenced in the answer. Choose to disable if that I want. But it's a pretty easy setup to hook up to Tikit, and it gives you unbelievable amount of power and complementing your already really strong knowledge base experience with external repositories that employees can update naturally, as well as websites to bring back answers within the knowledge experience there. So this is where we're going to pause the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any other questions, please email team@tikit.ai.